Okay, well, we would like to welcome you to the program, a special program, a spotlight on ministry. And this evening, or whenever you're watching this, we are going to highlight and give some time to the Chavez family. And we're excited for that. And I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce yourselves and your family.
Okay, hello. Uh, Hello, everyone. We are the Chavez family. We are a family from Costa Rica. My name is Juan Chavez. This is,
Hi, I'm Lucre. You can call me Lu.
that's easier to pronounce. We have two little kids, Emma, she's 8 years old, and we have also Lucas. He is 3 years old right now.
Yes.
So,
Yes. So, and keep them in prayer. You've been in Michigan so far.
yeah.
Now, by the time you're watching this, they may have been other places, but they're here to, as they are getting ready to go to, to serve the Lord on the field, and so we want to give them an opportunity to let you know about them. So, whenever you're ready, you can kind of start through your letting the people know.
So, we are from Costa Rica, a tiny country in Central America. We are from the Grace Community Church in Belen, Costa Rica. And this church, it has been serving the Lord and God in Costa Rica for 40 years. So, I don't know if you want to share about us a little bit.
Okay. So we have been married for 11 years, and we are both, as Juan said, we are both members of Grace Bible Community Church, a church in Costa Rica in San Antonio de Belén. We both used to serve in our church as youth leaders, and we both study at Grace Bible Institute in Costa Rica. Juan became a youth pastor there, and while we were in Costa Rica, we used to be actively involved in discipleship, both one-on-one or in small groups too. And part of our professional background is that in Costa Rica, we used to have a small business. It was a marketing agency, and we used to have our skills to support the ministry in Costa Rica too, but now we want to use these skills to help to be in Paraguay, working in Paraguay with our skills too.
Yes.
Lucrece is saying the country we are going to serve next year.
Yes.
That is Paraguay in South America. It's a landlocked in the middle of South America, landlocked country. We are going to serve next year and by the end of January 26. And one of the things that Lucre told that is very important for us is the Grace Bible Institute in Costa Rica.
Yes.
This institute has been very important. It has been like very useful for the field in Costa Rica and some other fields in Latin America. And we are the result of that.
Yes.
And now we want to use that, and we can talk about this later, but that's very important for us. We learned a lot. We developed like our knowledge of God a lot in that Bible Institute, and we studied there, and yeah.
Yes, yes, and just to highlight for the people how important it is. Sometimes you may not feel like you're seeing many results or differences, but I believe that they and me are an example of how the Lord can use people who serve Him and create a desire to then serve Him in also. So, yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's great, and you can share about
Yeah.
our church a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, something important that we like to share about our church in Costa Rica is that this church believes in missions and they support missionaries too. And we are the seventh family that becomes a missionary in our church. So we are very glad to be part of this group too.
Yeah, and if you see those pictures and you see all of the members of our local church and you can see those families serving in the field, we are the seventh family. The other pictures are from missionaries our church support, but you realize that this not happen by chance, right?
Right.
This our church support missionaries, and they love to prepare the potential leaders
Mhm.
to send them out. So for us, it's real an honor
Mhm.
to be part of this team and to serve and to be considered as servants, right?
Yes, and also I think that shows you the importance of a church being missions minded, and promoting it and keeping it before the people, how important a work it is, and then within the church, preparing people to then be missionaries, whether it's at home or even in a different country. So,
Yeah, that's the key. You don't need to send people outside your country,
right.
right? We are like an exception to the rule, but it's kind of a culture you are making through the years
Right.
in the church. We need to develop leaders to prepare leaders for the future, because actual leaders, they are not gonna be forever
Right.
serving, right?
Right.
So that's
Yes.
that's very important for us to take into account
Mhm.
in our ministry. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So we have our local church. You can see a picture of our sending church. We are like 100 people, members in Costa Rica. You can see some of people that are serving in the field and serving in Costa Rica as well. Our church was founded 40 years ago by Clarence Bifus. He was one missionary. And then his son, Chuck Bifus, served several years there. And now we have local people working in the church, right? The new leaders, Luis Alonso Cabezas is the lead pastor. He worked along Chuck Bifus before. And now there is another church in Alajuela, 2 churches, Grace churches in Costa Rica. And you see how in 40 years you can, it's not like quickly, right?
Right.
Sometimes it takes time
Right.
to do that. And now 40 years later, we are the 7th family in the last 10 years going to the field, and that's very important for us.
Yes. So you've visited with Caleb since you've been here?
Yeah.
Caleb Beefus? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Last Sunday we went to
Okay.
his church.
GBF
Uh-huh.
church, yeah.
All right.
So
Okay. Yep.
part of our experience is that we were the youth leaders. I was the youth pastor in Costa Rica.
Mhm.
Lucrecia was saying that I studied to become a pastor in the Bible Institute. So we have been serving in youth ministry the last, 8 years or more.
A little bit more.
Yeah, we started with the college students in our church. After that, we served with the teenagers, high school, and that gap or that stage of age. Yeah, with the students. It was really great to work with youth ministry. It could be crazy a little bit,
Mhm.
but we have like this group and this ministry, the youth people, is like they're more like willing to learn sometimes. They are not old enough to be like, I don't get
Right.
interested in something.
Yes.
They are very passionate, these people.
Yes. And I've let me speak to some of the older folks maybe. Sometimes you can tend to look at the younger people in a negative way. They're loud, a lot of energy, but they are, if you show you sincerely care about them, they will respect you and listen to you. And and it can be one of the most rewarding investments of your time. So I appreciate your willingness to work with the youth and the craziness of it. sometimes.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right. And through the years, you can see how they get mature,
Mhm.
and they develop, and they become new leaders, and
Right.
that's part of the rewarding sometimes you have here on earth. You know, I know our reward is Christ in the future, but that's you feel like, oh, I'm serving the Lord and I'm trying to, right? And
Right.
that's one of the things we love serve in youth ministry, because you work with the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I say they are the actual generation
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And that's very important for us to work with.
Yeah, and I want to say that in this ministry, with them, you only have like 5 years of time
Mhm.
working with them, because they start from 12 to 17, 18.
Right.
So you have to prepare what are you going to do during this
Mhm.
time with them, and it's actually really good because you learn a lot from them
Right.
in that period of time, and you can see the results in a short time period too.
Mhm. Yep, and really preparing them for the life ahead. You know, they're looking, and to be there for them to help them through that in the Lord. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And one of the things that is part of our strategy is that we have discipleships.
Mhm.
And the idea of this is most of people, or many people in Latin America at least,
Right.
they think that our mission is to serve the 2 hours we are at church every week.
Mhm.
But we know, we understand, and seeing the Bible, we see that every leader like Paul in the New Testament,
Right.
he wasn't like, I only work on Sundays,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And you know, he's involved in and he's influencing
Yes.
the lives of other people through every day.
Yes.
So one of our goals in youth ministry is to have meetings, encounters in the middle of the week,
Yep.
doing some discipleship one-on-one or small groups.
Mhm.
And those meetings are the best meetings to learn, I
Yes.
think. I'm the first one who learns a lot. When I have to teach,
Mhm.
I have to learn first.
Yes.
So
Yep.
it's both ways.
Mhm.
So it's very cool to have that and that works in any ministry you work. You can do that as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
we have that is a picture
Mhm.
of Lucre with her discipleship with the young ladies
Yep.
in the youth ministry.
And I appreciate that picture because it's the reminder of what you've already said. Discipleship or mentoring or service doesn't just happen in the church. I have found that sometimes the times when I've grown with people the most are in outside of the church, you know, and so yeah, meeting for coffee or whatever. Yes.
Yeah, Bible study groups or the sermon on the Sunday, it's very important.
Right.
That is
Yep.
important.
Mm-hmm.
But those meetings, those gatherings that you can have with some mentors, some people
Right.
that influence you,
Mm-hmm.
are the best, because you can see Paul in the second journey he took Timothy, and
Mhm.
you are coming with me, you are going to travel with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where you can see how maybe Timothy learned from the fights or struggles that
Right.
Paul had in
Mhm.
the journey, and see how he reacted in every situation. So I think that discipleship is more than just only sharing information. It's like
Right.
sharing life, sharing experience, sharing. I'm like you. We are in this journey together. Come with me, and we can do it together. So I will show you what I have learned before. That's it.
Yeah, and you can see me make mistakes too.
yeah,
and how I handle that,
struggling and
yes.
fighting, facing some situations. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and something that it's special about this is that people can see you in different areas.
Yes.
Like they are not always see me in my dress on Sundays.
Mhm.
They see me in my home with shorts and sandals, and they see how I get along with my kids and with my husband at home, and that's a different area that
Right.
maybe I'm not showing them, hey, you need to behave like that, but they are looking how you
Mhm.
how you react in your home or in a different ways that not always are in church.
Mhm.
that is very important in youth ministry
Mm-hmm.
because we have some students that they don't have a masculine figure at
Right.
home or they don't have parents,
Right.
and that's one way we can impact them
Mm-hmm.
by seeing us how we deal with our struggles as a family, as a Christian couple, as a Christian
Mm-hmm.
family with kids, and that's one of the goals we have with the youth ministry as well.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
We also have had the opportunity to serve in children's ministry in Costa Rica, sharing in, and one of the most important things is the mission trips, the
Mhm.
short-term mission trips we had in the past.
Mhm.
As a family, we went to Nicaragua.
Mm-hmm.
That picture is from 2014, I
Mhm.
think. We went to Nicaragua, a special country for us because it was the first country our church sent someone.
Mm-hmm.
There are Emiliano and Raquel Seravalli. They are
Mhm.
the Seravallis.
Yes.
They are from Grace Ministries International,
Mhm.
as we are. I think they have been there for 12 years,
Hmm.
I think.
Yep.
And they studied with us in the Bible Institute in Costa Rica. So they are one of the reasons we are missionaries too,
Yep.
because when we got married 11 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
we always loved or like having missionaries at our home in Costa Rica, and
Right.
we support financially some of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always a challenge for us when we had some meetings with the missionaries in our home in Costa Rica, and
Mhm.
after they leave our house, we were talking like, that was a special time.
Mm-hmm.
We feel like challenged to do something more,
Mm-hmm.
right? We were serving. I was the youth pastor. She was working with me, and we always had that challenge for ourselves. That every time we had a meeting with some of these missionaries, were like something in our minds is
Mhm.
like we need to do something more.
Mhm.
And that's interesting for
Mhm.
us.
Yes.
So we went to Nicaragua,
Mm-hmm.
to the north of Costa Rica. Different country from Costa Rica, very, very close to Costa Rica. Different country. I think it has some challenges
Mhm.
for the people there. We also we shared sometimes, in that time in 2014, they were buying the property they have now.
Land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. In that time, they have a big building there with the church there. But at that time, when we visited Nicaragua, there was just the land.
Mm-hmm.
So we participate with them, like cleaning the land and having soccer time with the people.
Meeting people,
Yes.
meeting the
Yes.
locals, the Nicaraguans people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing.
Yes. Yes.
You can go and build a wall or clean the property, but remember the faces of the people you met in that country is the most important thing. And you
Mm.
can see how they were loving God. They wanted to serve the new people where the Seravallis were serving with.
Mm-hmm.
And you see how they are very positive and
And
Yeah.
passionate too.
passionate in some difficult circumstances.
Yeah.
And you say, wow, again, I felt the challenge for us again when we visit Nicaragua
Yep.
that time.
And it's something that it makes more special when you don't have enough resources.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
Yeah.
like- and that's the actual situation that they have in Nicaragua. They have doing a lot of things with less or not enough resources, and the results of that is make us feel very impressive about it.
Yes. Yes. And to see people, well, doing something as what we would think of as simple as clearing the land. It's important.
Yeah.
In a way you can serve the Lord. Yes.
Yeah. And we learned a lot from the Seravallis,
Mm-hmm.
how they, at the beginning, their house was like the church.
Mm-hmm.
I think every single day people went by, hey, hello, and eat at their home, and we saw how they share
Yep.
their own resources, their house, their food, their time, everything for the people
Right.
there, and that's quite a challenge.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for every missionary, and
Mhm.
we saw how they incarnate in the
Mhm.
culture
Yep.
in Nicaragua. That's part of our strategy to do next year in Paraguay,
Mhm.
to do the same thing
Yep.
we saw they do, and we learn from them. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have also visited Panama.
Mhm.
Um, we and totally different context. It's
Mhm.
the country to the south of Costa Rica. It's totally different.
Yes.
The situation is different. I don't know. You have met the Balus, right? Anthony
Correct, yes.
Balu and Pamela, his wife.
Mhm.
His wife is from our church in Costa Rica.
Yep.
So they are starting over again the church in Panama. So we visit them. We had a great time sharing together, talking about like this, like ministry,
Right.
how we can do things, and it was a good time learning for us and teaching and sharing our own experience in Costa Rica to them. And there is also Ceci Torres.
Yes.
She's another missionary from Grace Ministry International. So it's a good team, a young team in Panama, and they're working hard to making grow this new church in Panama.
Yes.
And pray for Panama, pray for Nicaragua if you're watching this.
Mhm.
That's those trips for us were a key for
Mhm.
our ministry.
Yeah.
It was they were important for us.
Yes, and I would encourage people, especially young people, you know, when you get to graduation and all those things, go on a short-term mission trip. Sometimes we think that only our church or our state or our country, this is the way it's always done,
Mhm.
and if nothing else, it will open your eyes that there are different ways of doing things, and that's okay. And the Lord can use it. And just to be encouraged how the Lord's using people in different areas. And how you, sometimes you may think, I'm going to go bless these people, and you end up that they bless you. I almost guarantee it. So, yes,
Yeah.
that's my promotion for going on a short-term mission trip.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Mhm.
That's true.
Yep.
You are the first one blessed in
Right.
that trip. Yeah, yeah. So we had that opportunity to went and visit Panama. Last year, we had the opportunity to visit our mission field,
Mhm.
yeah, right? Paraguay, in South America. We have never been in South
South
America
America.
before that,
Mhm.
so it was very interesting.
Mhm.
A whole different experience, a whole different culture and country.
Mhm.
We have the opportunity to meet the Coxons.
Mhm. Yes.
They are missionaries from GMI, Corey and Kim and their kids. And in the picture is Tata or Tati Faria. She's another missionary. She's from Brazil. And we have the opportunity to meet the Menors
Mhm.
in Brazil. So that trip was different because we already knew that we are going to Paraguay. So at that time, so it was like
Mhm.
to know the place, how it's going to be in that moment,
Mhm.
Paraguay. And for us, that was very important story
Yes.
to tell because we were just deciding if we are going to go to the field
Mhm.
because you know it's for sure when you are going to make this step in your life, you have a lot of questions, a
Mhm.
lot of
Doubts.
fears,
Mhm.
doubts.
Yep.
And some days you are like, what am I doing right now?
Right.
You have family in your country, you have your house, you have your job,
Mhm.
you have a lot, your ministry in Costa
Right,
Rica.
right.
So it's for us, it has been a big,
It was
big,
very challenging for us.
Mhm.
yeah, big decision to make for
Mhm.
us with two little kids,
Mhm.
you know. So to tell this part, when we got married, 11 years ago, Jeremy Clark,
Mhm.
the director of GMI, he called me and he was like, you're recently married. Do you want to go on missions? Where I was like talking to her, and I was, Jeremy, I had a meeting with a call with Jeremy, and he wants us to go to Paraguay.
Mhm.
At that time, we said no.
Right.
We felt like, we are recently married, and we had the same doubts, fears, and indecisions in our lives. So we said no. After 11 years, we had again. Well, it was like 2 years ago.
Mhm.
We started to talking about that again.
Yep.
My mom was very sick at that time. She passed away at that time, so it was like, okay, now we can talk about again.
Mhm.
So right now we are here at the States, raising funds, raising funds, right?
Yep.
When we visited Paraguay last year, I wanted her to go with the kids to Paraguay. I wanted her and the kids experience the country, not
Right.
only me going to Paraguay. And most of the questions we had at the beginning was like, where are our kids going to study?
Right.
The medical things for the kids.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
when we were in Costa Rica, you are always like complaining the system education, the education system,
Yeah.
the medical
Yeah.
system.
It's the same here. Yeah.
When we traveled to another country, it was like, oh, Costa Rica is the best. Maybe this country is not the best as Costa Rica's, but she had very good conversation with Vivi Menor.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you want to share something about that.
Yeah, it was a very difficult decision for us to become a missionaries. Even though we have been serving God in our local church for more than 15 years, become a missionary is
Mhm.
totally different, and we don't know exactly how is it. So we took very, very intentional conversations with the Menors while we were there, because they invite us to be in their home for 10 years.
Yeah.
For 10
Right,
days.
right. 10
So
years. That's,
okay.
yeah, that's nice.
So during those 10 years, we have a lot of conversations, and I talk a lot with Vivi Menor because she is like my age,
Right.
and she have kids like our age too. So something good about it is that I realized that she has the same doubts that I had about the kids' safety, education, and everything. So knowing that people like them have doubts like mine
Right.
makes me feel more that, okay, I'm not the only one
Right,
with
right.
doubts and everything. And we pray, we have a lot of conversations, and then we are living this moment one day at a time.
Mhm.
Like we are trusting in God
Right.
through all this way that we are taking, but we still having doubts, but we know that God is with us, that we are going there as a family to serve God, that's our passion, but we know that we need him in our lives.
Yeah.
We need to depend. Is that
Yeah,
to
depend on
depend
him.
on him in all ways.
Right.
So it's still difficult for us, but we are very emotional about it to know what God's plans
Mhm.
is for us in 2026 too.
Right. Yep. And that's important that they were there. 'Cause I'll tell you, whether it was moving when I moved from Pennsylvania to Wisconsin or Wisconsin to here, yeah, there's doubts, there's fears, there's what ifs, and oh no, and to be able to have someone to come alongside and talk to you, and then to go and still have the body of Christ working together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Hodgsons have been there for a while,
Yeah.
and the Menors are somewhat newer, and
Yeah.
so yes, to have those resources.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
We felt peace
Yes.
in ourselves after that trip. And the other thing were the faces again of the people of Paraguay that we met. And we felt love for them, and we went to serve to and with them. It was a very fulfilling experience in all sense of the word in Paraguay. And we had some meetings with the local people in Paraguay, with like adult Bible studies. We had like kids clubs in ministry as well. We visited the church there. It's a church, a small church, like 50 people there. So we had that opportunity to participate in those kind of ministries. We learned a lot from them. We see their need. We shared our experience with their experience with the missionaries there, and us as from Costa Rica, yeah, right? So we share a lot with them. We had the opportunity to share in a local Christian school. So it was very interesting for us to visit Paraguay. One of the things that Lucrecia was saying, and for us is very important to say, is this decision wasn't only like emotional decision for us. You know, I know a lot of people sometimes can think like, missionary, that couple is like, they're excited, and yeah, that's part of the thing. But
Right.
we think a lot of this decision. We have thought of in this decision. We prayed a lot for this change in our lives. We discuss and talk with other people about this. So, yeah, this for 2 years we have been working on this. So, like I said before, this didn't happen by chance. It's like a whole plan behind it. So, we do believe that our calling is to go as missionaries as a missionary family to Paraguay next year. And we are part from Grace Ministries International, and we want to work with their goals. We want to accomplish their goals. They have like a Vision 2033 goals. And part of that vision is that we want to work with them to, in a short-term goal, plant a new church over there. So.
And Jennifer, could you, if you want to show that slide again, they can just kind of read through it. But just like what he was saying there, I appreciate you sharing with us kind of what brought you to this decision, because I sometimes maybe people think that you woke up one day and we're going to be missionaries, yay! And there's excitement, you can tell. But even clear back to Jeremy 11 years ago, planting a seed, and then I appreciate even you having to work through the all the questions you had, because it prepares. I hope the people heard. This couple has thought this through, and they are dedicated. They're going out through GMI there, and you heard their passion already regarding the gospel and to come alongside people and disciple them. Yep.
Yeah. And that's where our key verse gets important for us. Romans 1:16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God to salvation for everyone who believes. So it's a challenge, and at the same time, it motivates us to go to the field, and because the gospel is power.
Right.
And sometimes we don't understand maybe how powerful it is, the gospel of God. So, and that's part of our mission, to go, to share Christ, to share the gospel. And you know, it's that verse is right now our key verse, and our daughter Emma, if you have met her in somewhere or sometime, she's the one who reads that verse.
Right.
But it's as a family is our verse for going to the field.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So Paraguay, we can talk about Paraguay a little bit. We are going to serve in Ciudad del Este. Ciudad del Este, it's a city to the east border of the country. That's why Ciudad del Este, East City, literally, is what that means. We are going to be next to Foz do Iguaçu, Brazil, and Puerto Iguaçu, Argentina, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it is a very strategic place
Yeah.
because you don't need a passport to pass to Brazil. So we can have contacts and start some relationships and contacts in Brazil because our goal is to plant a church maybe in Brazil in a couple of years.
Yep.
I know I'm saying a couple of years.
Right,
It
right.
could be more, it could be less, but that's the goal.
Mhm.
It's a place where everyone speaks Spanish and Portuguese in that area.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very commercial place. It's a duty-free city.
Mm.
So a lot of people from Brazil and Argentina goes there to buy stuff.
Yep.
You can see Costa Rica compared to Paraguay in that map.
Mm-hmm.
You can also see America
Right.
in the north, right? You see how tiny Costa Rica is.
Mm-hmm.
Paraguay, I think, is like it's eight
Greater than.
Times
eight-
greater, yeah.
Yeah,
Larger,
eight
yeah.
times larger than Costa Rica. Costa Rica is like 5 million people. Paraguay, it's like 7.5 million people over there. Yeah. So Paraguay is a bilingual country. They speak Spanish and Guarani. Guarani is an indigenous language.
Mm-hmm.
It is mandatory to learn it at the schools, so most of the people speak both
Great.
languages. There is no problem speaking Spanish. Everyone is in Spanish, so that is okay
Mm-hmm.
because everyone asks that question to us, like,
Right.
how are you gonna be the Guarani? Yeah,
Right.
we can learn it. It's very different to Spanish. It is not similar at all,
Mm-hmm.
but you can speak Spanish and
Will people have a feel like you belong or accept you more if you can speak the indigenous language, or does it matter?
I think it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
We had the experience with the people over there, and they were so nice. They were so kind. They were
Yes.
so lovely, and they were excited to teach us, to showing us the
Mhm.
Guarani language.
Mhm.
So, I don't think there is a challenge in that part. I think they would appreciate
Right.
if we learned that, and they were like, "Oh wow, you're learning Guarani!" But
Yeah. Yeah.
no, it's okay,
Okay.
to not know the language.
Mhm.
I told you there are 7.5 million people over there, and there are 3 big cities, and that's it for most of the country.
Right.
The capital, Asunción, Encarnación to the south,
Mm-hmm.
and Ciudad del Este, where we are going to be. There are the 3 big cities in the country where most of the people is living. You see the north of the country is like
Right.
countryside, like jungle, or it's going to Bolivia, the north country, the other South American country, Bolivia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to know that there is only 3 big cities in
Right.
the entire country. This is an important fact. Just under 90% of the population identifies as Roman Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
It is a challenge,
Right.
but in a way, it's not that bad
Right.
because people is religious
Right,
people, so they are open to talk about God.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them, they say they are Catholic, but maybe
Right.
they do nothing, right? They
Right.
don't assist to church or whatever. But it is good because when you talk to a Catholic, maybe it's similar here in the States, they're very open to talk about God and what they believe.
Mm-hmm.
In Latin America, Catholicism is very like a traditional family stuff.
Right.
Like, we are Catholics. Why? My parents are
Right,
Catholics
right.
and my grandparents, and yeah. So it is a good door to open when you have a conversation about religion, and I think it's even easier to talk to a Catholic than to a non-believer that doesn't believe in God or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
This is something to take into account in Paraguay and this area, Ciudad del Este, Paraguay, and Foz do Iguaçu, Brazil. We have like 20,000 Muslims, people living in that area. We are not, at this moment, we are not going to serve with the Muslim population, but it's something to know.
Right.
We are going to be next to a lot of Muslim in that area. So there are some mosques in both cities. So it is one of the largest Muslim populations in South America. The mission God has given us. So this is where we talk what we are going to do
Right.
in Paraguay next year, starting next year. One of the things we want to do is to learn leadership training.
Mhm.
We think as a missionaries, one of the things that we must do when you plant a new church is you need local people.
Right.
And we see that with Paul.
Mhm.
We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago.
Right. Right.
Paul, he needed a team with him, collaborators.
Right.
If you see Romans 16 and all his letters, at the end of his letters, he is greeting a lot of people or sending greetings from people with him in the moment. So you know that you need to train people.
Right.
Because you are not going to be forever, and you are not the solution.
Right. Right. Right.
Christ is the solution.
Right.
God is using us to pass the ball, we say in Spanish.
Right. Right.
So one of the things is leadership training. We
Mhm.
want to have potential leaders, and we have discipleship with them,
Right.
training them, showing all the grace doctrine and teachings that we have, right, to train and to plant a church
Mhm.
in Paraguay.
Mhm.
We want to continue with youth ministry as well.
Yes, that's something that we are very passionate about it. And something important to say about Paraguay is that at least 70% of their population is under 35 years.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
there is a big opportunity for us to get involved in youth ministry there too.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Discipleship, as we were talking before,
Right.
that's one of the key things that we want to do, because going to a new country,
Right.
you don't know nobody
Mhm.
in that country. So make contacts, making relationships. For us, the word is intentional relationships.
Yeah.
Okay? Do you want to have a coffee at my place? Yeah. Next Friday, okay, see you there. And making intentional and contacts and having intentional relationships with local people to see what happens, right? And
Yep.
don't waste time. That's one of the things. We don't need to waste any time. We need to be intentional with people, working hard like Paul did in the New Testament. You see how they plant churches and how they were like every city
Right.
they visited, they were like, oh, I knew Phoebe, Priscilla, Aquila, Timothy, right? A lot of people Paul have around him,
Yep.
and that's the key for us as well. And discipleship in those contacts, not on weekends, that's maybe even more important than the other ones.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's very important for us. We want to participate in children's ministry. I have this strategy. The thing here is a couple of people here in the States have questioned or have asked me this. What are you going to do? Well, the easy answer for me is, well, I'm going to replicate what I have learned or we have learned in Costa Rica.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yep.
That's the only thing I know.
Mhm.
But I have learned, I have experience in Costa Rica, in our local ministry in Costa Rica, from our local and sending church.
Mhm.
And the strategy we have is, we need to win or to share the gospel to the non-believers.
Right.
Obviously, that's the main thing here. The most important thing is to share Christ to the people that haven't believed in the salvation through Christ
Mhm.
and by Christ, in Christ, right?
Right.
So win the non-believers in Jesus. But after that, we need to build to get the foundation of their faith to the new believers.
Right.
And after that, we need to equip, to train the potential leaders or disciples, we would say, and multiply into new leaders.
Mhm.
So, you know, that's a healthy ministry when you say, okay,
Mhm.
the people here is working and doing everything.
Right.
So
Yep.
that's a healthy ministry for me or for us to have. So that's our strategy. But if you see that graphic at those 4 steps or phases happens at the same time.
Mhm.
You have people that is non-believer. You have
Right.
people in every stage of the graphic at the same time. In a
Mhm.
church, you have people that they have a lot of knowledge and they have been believers for quite a time.
Yep.
Maybe you have new people. So we need to work in different programs, different ministries, different activities to reach every part of the strategy.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's what we want to do in Paraguay next year.
Yep, and I think you see that with, you mentioned Paul before, I think that's what you see, those steps.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know why in Latin America happens.
Mhm.
I don't know if that happens here. A lot of people in churches think like macro, like big, like, we need to have 1,000 people and a big building. And I think it's the other way.
Mhm.
We need to start with people
Right.
around you, and with a few people you can reach more people. And that's, I think that's, even Jesus did it.
Yep.
And Paul did it. So why sometimes we want like, I need to fill a building with people.
Yeah.
I have an empty space. I need people there. Okay, yeah, I know, I understand that, but
Right.
you need to be intentional with people. Because
And I think in the States, we like quick results.
Mhm.
And we like things we can measure.
Mhm.
And obviously bigger looks better.
Yeah.
And yet what I see from the scriptures, I see a lot of times calling us to patience.
Mhm.
And it all yes. So,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah, big doesn't mean bad.
No,
but,
no, no.
But certainly.
Yeah. It is not only about quantity.
Right.
It's also quality.
Right.
Right. I know that, and it is a process. And I love to say that we are in process.
Mhm.
We are not a finished product. We are in process, and we are always worried about the next phase or the final goal for
Yep.
something, and we forget the
The
journey
process, yep.
to accomplish that. And always is more important that journey to get or to reach something that
Right.
the thing itself, right?
Right,
So
yep.
that's our process. Intentional relationships, working with different levels of
Right.
maturity. I don't know how to say
Mhm.
that.
Yes.
I think that's how a local church will work without us. And that's a healthy ministry when everyone understands that.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
one of the things we also want to work with next year, we want to relaunch the Grace Bible Institute. We were talking before.
Yep.
In our time when we studied there, it was an online. Right now, after COVID and everything that
Right.
happened,
Mhm.
now everything is online. So we want to join the team with the Institute Online. Grace Ministries International is supporting this tool
Mhm.
for Latin America. So the idea is that we can talk to all the missionaries in Latin America and say, hey, we have this
Mhm.
Institute Online. You can participate. You can teach
Mhm.
in that institute. Your class will help another countries.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of people, good and smart people with a lot of resources,
Mhm.
and they can participate in the Institute Online.
Yes.
So that's one of the main goals next year, maybe.
Yes. Yeah. And I know that that's been, if I can speak for his behalf, Jeremy's desire for a long time to get a an institute that will help Spanish-speaking countries and people. Yep.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people in Latin America, and right now it's like in a standby, the
Right.
website, and we want to relaunch next year, hopefully. But we have had some students from Mexico, Panama,
Right.
Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Bolivia, Paraguay.
Mhm.
So it is a good tool.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
I will send you news about
Okay,
that next
okay.
year, maybe.
Okay. Yep. And you're in charge of all of that?
No.
All right. Okay. We won't put that on you.
One of the other things we have is Lucrecia told earlier that our professional background is in marketing and graphic design, and we want to use that now that we are going to be full-time missionaries
Mhm.
to create some visual ministry material, some Christian resources in Spanish,
Mhm.
like to have an standard material to share with other
Right.
countries, because now everyone is like fighting by themselves, right,
Mhm.
to make some material or some.
Right.
That's one of the things we want to create.
Mhm.
I don't know how much we are going to do, but
Right. Right.
the idea is to develop some material in Spanish, some dispensation graphics that we have some old material, but
Right.
we wanted to do it
Yes. Yes.
visually better.
Right. Right.
And we want to make some Paul ministry timelines or chronology or
Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes.
yeah, like a timeline of the ministry of Paul and those kind of things we want to do
Yes.
in ministry as well.
Mhm.
So during this journey, while we were in Costa Rica, we know that the people in our local church, they were praying a lot for us.
Right.
And that is something that helped us to be in peace,
Mhm.
like knowing that people is praying for you.
Right.
It makes you feel better, feel more comfortable, and actually it feels that you are going on a team, not by yourself, but you are with a lot of people behind you.
Mhm.
And so during this time, we like to share some things that we would like people to pray with us.
Yes.
So we are in a time of transition.
Mhm.
We are moving. While we finish here in the States, we are come back to Costa Rica only for a month, and then we are moving to Paraguay probably in January 2026. So this is a whole new transition with 2 little kids. So we
Mhm.
want people to pray for this transition, for the safety while we were traveling here in the U.S. too, and for this process of fundraising that we are doing here. And also we would like that people can help us in praying for the local church in Costa Rica, the family that we left there, and finally for the work that we are going to do in Paraguay, for
Mhm.
the team that we are going to join, and for the people there. I know the people is very, very friendly. They want to know more about Christ, and we want only to be instruments of God during this process. So we would like that more people can pray for us.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. So, and you can see right there on your screen some things that you can pray for. So pray.
Yeah, that's very important for us, and we feel it. I think the prayers of the people, and this cannot happen without you, without churches here, churches in Latin America, and we are just like the tools you
Mhm.
are using here for
Yep.
going to those places. We are very thankful for the people here that we have met through this couple of weeks here, and you are so lovely, you are so kind. People in churches have been so welcoming for us, to us, And we now understand and we see the culture you have here in the States of sending people and supporting missions in Latin America. We don't see that in our churches in Latin America. For us, it's like, wow, it's amazing to learn to see how local churches here are supporting ministries in Latin America.
Yeah.
So that's
Yep.
that's the information of our ministry. So we are raising funds right now. Our monthly support is like 30% covered at this moment. For the vehicle and the setup cost, we don't really know right now. At the beginning of this journey, we didn't have anything, but I don't know right now if someone have been donating to those two specific projects. We are not get used to do this.
Yeah, I know,
right?
I know.
It's like
It's hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, it is a lot of money. I see a lot of money in that picture, so I feel like a pressure to be responsible because I'm like an administrator
Right.
of God to use that resources, as we were saying about the Sarabalis or Paul in the Bible, to use that for ministry.
Right.
So the vehicle is going to be a van maybe, because in Paraguay we need to pick up people and
Right.
drive people for place to place. And the setup cost is for moving from Costa Rica to Paraguay. People can be a partner in this team. We are not as important as the donators are. I think they are the heroes here because they are giving, they're praying, and we are the tools they are using, and God is using to share and to share the gospel in wherever we are.
Right.
Really. So
Can you put that screen back up? I understand it is uncomfortable,
yeah.
so I'll do it. You've just very briefly heard the desire and the heart and the passion of the Chavez family, and they desire to serve the Lord. And I can tell you, all of that, all the stuff that they desire to do, the youth ministries, the kids ministries, the discipleship, the planning churches, the institute, even I can't speak. The picture things, the maps and all those things. That takes time. And it also, I know you know very well that things take funds or resources. And so don't look at this as, look at it, ultimately what this is it's an investment. That I can't be in Paraguay, but I can get behind the Lord using the Chavez, the Hodgsons, the Maynors, as they minister there in Paraguay. So you can see there's a QR code if you are hip and know how to use that. Or there's even a website there, chavezministry.org, and I would encourage you, at the very least, to check out and learn some more information about them, to pray for them, and yes, to consider getting behind them as they serve there. So, yes.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, for the time, and we really appreciate this, and you and your family, the church. We visited just a few Sundays ago.
Yes.
It was wonderful. So we really appreciate. We love your church, and now we are grateful and glad to be here and sharing our experience and learning from you guys. So
Yeah, and I always appreciate. Here's the weird thing. We talked about other people blessing you, and I always appreciate being able to sit down and do this and get to know people a little bit more. So I appreciate you being here and your journey to making this decision. And they have some journeys ahead here, and they're just getting started here in the States. So I would encourage you to pray for them as they go from back to and fro, and And then as they, in January there, they plan to head to their new ministry there in Paraguay. So keep them in prayer. And speaking of prayer, I would like to have a word of prayer now before we close. God and Father, I thank you, me personally, that I have had the opportunity to get to know them a little bit better and to just hear their heart and their passion. And Father, even in their the thoughts and the doubts and all that they had to overcome to even reach this point to say, yes, Lord, thank you. We want to go and minister in that area. Father, there are months ahead that they'll be gone to some unknown places in an unknown country, and I just pray for safety. I just pray for strength, for patience, and even, Father, as they make their visits, that people will just encourage them even as they are encouraged, and get behind them and take on that financial burden, so that that's not one of the worries that they have, that they know they can just hit the ground running and begin their ministry for you there in Paraguay and with the team that is there. So Father, I just thank you for this family, and just, yes, the ministry part of it, but also who they are. And so I pray that even during this time, their family grows in you. And finally, Father, I would just like to say thank you that you have made us your servants, and we get the blessing of knowing you and serving you no matter where we are. So I pray that we are all your willing servants in the name, wonderful name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Well, thank you once again. And I don't, if you want to say anything in Spanish to people, nothing like secretive that like Storm Bible Doctrines or anything. But I mean, if you want to give a greeting, go ahead, and then we'll close out.
Gracias a todos los que nos vieron en español. Estamos muy motivados de ir a Paraguay el próximo año. Agradecemos sus oraciones, su soporte, su apoyo a nuestro ministerio, de todo corazón, de nuestra familia. Les agradecemos. Un saludo a todos los que hablan español aquí, y que Dios los bendiga mucho.
All right.
Thank you.
And I want to thank Juan and Lou for taking this time, and the kids.
They're over.
So, yes, they're here too. So thank you very much, and thank you for joining us. And keep this this couple in prayer as they travel in the States, and then they go to Paraguay to serve the Lord. So thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.